It's incredible, 10th year anniversary celebration of, Associated Advocacy Center. And, when we talk about advocacy, it's an amazing thing. It's some of the things that we do every day. But it's something that is from a conscious mind that Tony provides. Yes, I've seen you in action. And that action turns into help that's so important for our youth and children today. So I want to start by saying, Willie Nakam, Nikapop. Good evening, my friends. That's in Master Wampanoag language. I want to thank you for the honor of having me here for the 10th anniversary. Very important, and I thank you, Tony. Celebration of such an important organization. As you know, I'm the chairman of the Master Wampanoag tribe. Just want to give you a little background of the tribe, and in itself is advocacy, and then we'll talk about exactly our relationship with Tony, and then as a whole, the feeling of advocacy, what it means as we look to thrive in this world. Chairman of a sovereign nation with over 2,000 citizens of our nation. The Wampanoag people are the original habitats of this land, and had a thriving culture, government. We had economy, structure, thousands of years before the arrival of European settlers. This is true. It's documented history. Despite being decimated by foreign disease, the Wampanoag people were the tribe who met the Pilgrims, the earliest settlers, and helped them through their first harsh winters here. We helped them survive on many fronts. We showed them crops, food, and how to survive and live. We treated them with dignity and respect and pride, and expected the same in return. The Wampanoag people and the Pilgrims lived in peace for many years, with mutual respect, and was recently commemorated on the $1 coin that was recently shown with the 1621 treaty. So that's amazing, and that happened last week on Friday. Unfortunately, the story as we understand it, respect for the indigenous people of this land quickly disintegrated, as did any gratitude for the Wampanoag people's efforts to assist the European settlers during their first harsh winters here. The Wampanoag people were systematically killed, sold into slavery, forced into praying towns, split from our families, and driven from our homes. Our traditional beliefs and language were not accepted anymore. They were no longer welcome. We couldn't speak our language and practice our traditions. Our right to care for our families through hunting and fishing, what we've done for thousands of years of survival, and how we help the Pilgrims survive, were taken away. Our people's ability to utilize our natural resources, and that's key, natural resources, remain on our ancestral homelands, and practice our way of life was stripped from us, but still we persevered. Even federal recognition and acknowledgement by the U.S. government that, says who we actually always knew who we were, a sovereign nation of Indian people, indigenous people of this land, took over 30 years of protracted legal battles to achieve, but still we persevered. The results of this mistreatment linger. Our people struggle to find jobs and housing in our homeland. We suffer disproportionately from health issues and social issues that result from poverty. Our high school graduation rate is currently under 50%. Currently under 50%. More than 30% below the state average. As a result, it's very difficult for our youth to become fully developed, productive adults. That is why our tribe has made it a priority to find ways to shrink this gap, provide our children with an appropriate education, and break the cycle of poverty that entraps so many of the good people of our tribe. Despite being severely underfunded by the federal government, we're providing scholarships and tutoring programs in advocacy for our young people so that they can find success and become productive adults in today's society. So we're taking proactive steps, like working with Tony Saunders, an Association Advocacy Center for Visions of the Future. And visions of today, right?
Right.
As you well know, too many kids are disparate and treated not well with respect and dignity in the education system. Too often kids with learning challenges or different needs are over-medicated. And medication is the solution. Put them on Ritalin. All these sad things, and it really destroys who they are. It takes away from who they are. The parents or guardians can't make heads or tails of the labyrinth of bureaucracy, and they're asked to navigate the system that they don't have any tools or ways to get through. It's just crazy. The individual needs are ignored. This is especially true for children of color, including Native American children. We're very kinesthetic learning people, object-oriented people. There's very unique ways in which we learn. Very educated people, as I mentioned, were sovereign for thousands of years. And when something's thrust upon you, and then there's cultural undertones that impact you for hundreds and hundreds of years, we have to take a step back and say, you know, education is important and we all believe in it, but how do we make it work for everybody? Remember, it's never one size fits all. And that applies to most anything in life. So when I met Tony, many years back, you know, Stephanie, Toby Roderick, and my wife Cheryl Fry, Cromwell, and Tony, I'm going back to ancient times here.
Yeah.
Probably 10 years ago.
Close to
10,
it.
yeah.
10 years ago. It was just an amazing time, and you know, the fight was on, if you will. Children were being negatively impacted in the school system. They were all, believe it or not, in today's modern world, you know, the school system, because of who we are as Native people or people of color, being disrespected by school teachers. Oh, that's typical. That's how you people are. And then, you know, the undertones make a combative situation in the school system, so the kids are upset, and so they're reciprocating with negativity back, and so it makes a bad situation. And then again, some parents in a very poor situation, poverty, don't have the tools or equipped or know how to navigate the system. And so advocacy was very important. So we became friends. I believe I met Tony through Stephanie.
Mm-hmm.
And that first meeting was like, wow. It was incredible. We were going to meetings in the schools and talking with teachers and making sure that the parents understood it. You know, they have a responsibility, and you know, it may seem tough, but you know, we're going to help it out. So that relationship is still ongoing, you know, for 10 years, and you know, Tony has sessions with the tribe, and it's amazing. You just think, oh, I'm a parent, I send my kid to school, and that's it. But you know, what is the assessment of your child's, you know, education? If they're having challenges, are they learning disorders? And you know, there's motor skills and all types of stuff that Tony knows well that I'm not going to sit here and make it up off the top of my head. But it's amazing. It's tools and it's technique of communicating, really assessing your child's needs, helping the parents understand what their child's needs are. Really talking about individual education plans that essentially could be what your child needs. I'd never heard of an IEP. I didn't know what that was. You know, study harder, teacher help my kid out, and they do the work. And in many cases, that wasn't the solution. So what Tony was able to bring to the table was the tools and the skills and ideas and thoughts that typically aren't taught to parents in the school systems of how to ensure that your children are successful when they hit those bumps around education. And with strong people like Stephanie and Cheryl, they've got the drive. So I think when you bring strong people as yourselves along with Tony into the tribe, we've been able to make impact, and that's positive impact. That's impact to say that there's hope and that there's a challenge, you know. Now I understand there's a process, and it is the school's fiduciary responsibility. Fiduciary, yeah, there's money involved, but they have the funding to support your child and ensure that the right program is in place and the right classroom structure is in place and the right tools are in place and, you know, the right assessment is in place so that your child successfully makes it through the school system. Now, I don't know if I've done it a good service, but I've tried to explain the value and power of advocacy. And advocacy is important. It's all our responsibility. You know, it was an old African proverb. You know, it takes a community to raise a child. Hillary Clinton, as you remember, had expressed that. And that's a proverb that we all must adapt to today and continue to preach. Whether we have children in school or not, it is our responsibility as citizens of this country, of this towns of the country, to ensure that advocacy is something that is prominent in the school system and that no child is left behind. Thank you for your time, and you know, glad to be here, and I think it's just wonderful that you've been able to keep this going for 10 plus years, and we look forward to more. And thank you, Tony.
Thank you. Thank you.